All right. Well, I'm from Senton, country boy. I mean, from ever
Yeah.
since. So got involved in music from high school, but not records, by actually playing instruments because I can play bass guitar, keyboard, drums. So in high school we even had a band there and everything. So that's where my passion for music started. I mean, after I left high school, I was working at a place in Kingston, and they normally have like a Friday evening social, after work jam or everything, and a little sound system would have been there, and I was basically fascinated by the actual mixing of records and everything. So, I had a little belt drive turntable that I started to practice with, what I mean, to try to
Yes.
mix and, get things, get my thing going that way. So once I mastered mixing on a belt drive, which all who know about belt drive is one of the hardest things to do, you know, it was basically smooth
Yeah.
sailing from that because, when you go to the techniques, direct drive turntables, it's like 1, 2, So
Yeah. Yeah.
basically that was it. After that, I hooked up with a sound system from St. Anne's Bay in St. Anne by the name of Easy Rock. You know what I mean? And we started playing parties all over the North Coast and everything there. And it was actually at a party that I was playing Easy Rock for a bank. It's a staff party I was playing. That's where I met Keith, and he was telling me that he was building the sound based Odyssey.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
So Keith was building Bass Odyssey. You met him.
This is
So
1989.
19,
89.
1989.
Yeah.
So then,
Mhm.
what happened then? So he was building,
He,
you
he, he,
said
he
you're
told me,
coming on board, or
he asked me if I would have been interested to play the sound, because he didn't have any selectors yet. And, they were basically building the sound in the process of being built. So I told him, so yeah, man, if anything, I will come and check him because, I actually lived in Brownstown at the time, so, going up to Alexander, just 8 miles up the road. So, one day I went up there, to link up with them and everything. And he was showing me what he had and, all the equipment that he had and all those things. So they had the turntables set up and everything with a mixer. So, I took some records and started mixing, and it actually draw a crowd because, you know, in them early days, they never really used to mixing. People just play music and move from one record to the other. You know what I mean? But to see somebody mixing and the songs are flowing and everything, they actually took out a tape deck and started making a cassette. Yeah, I mean, while I was mixing. So, you know,
um,
yeah, that was it. And he asked me if I wanted to come on board, and I said no problem. Yeah, I mean, so to make it clear, I was actually the very first person to play bass on this.
that holy crap! Holy crap! Finally. So here it is. This is it. This is
Yeah.
the historical moment that we have to listen to. I'm not saying nothing, but so you were officially the first selector for Bass Odyssey.
Very first selector.
They can bun me out all they want now. Oh no, I see people on here who were laughing at me earlier. Don't worry, they could bun me out, but don't worry about it. We finally have history. History.
Yeah,
I seen people saying I
yeah.
told you. They were just okay. All right, let me calm now because I didn't know. I didn't know at the time. So
Mm.
after you, what happened next?
Well, what happened is that I played, to be honest, I played bass Odyssey probably about 7 to 8 months. Now the thing is, I was in the process of getting documents sorted out to go live in the States, right? So I played bass Odyssey at a couple dances, Spanish Town, in Senton all over. But the thing is, Tina One came and saw me on the sound, and is when I was at the verge of getting through to go to the States. You know, at that time, you never really think about selecting as a career, so to speak. You know what I mean? So once the opportunity came around for me to go to the States, of course, I jumped at that because, you know, you want to see if you can better yourself otherwise. You know what I mean? So
Okay.
in all fairness, you know, the name base odyssey getting out there for people to know it was or is accredited to Tinawa. He's the one that actually put the sound out, you know, or established the name base odyssey out there. I played it to start off, but in terms of recognition, Tinawan is the one that put it out there.
Wow. Wow. This is history. Wow. Okay. So Tinawan, then after Tinawan, were you still in tune with the sound? You still knew what was going on, what was happening?
I basically kept track of the sound. You know, them days it was cassette days. So I basically kept track of the sound via listening cassettes and all them things there. But I wasn't directly in contact with them, you know, because I was doing my thing in Florida and everything. Nothing to do with music or anything of the sort. You know what I mean? Just working, you know, trying to earn a dollar. So you know, I wasn't really in direct contact with it, but it was a case where now the sound was, you know, established so much to the point where they started traveling. I remember going to a couple dances that Tinawan came into Florida. I remember going to a couple bass odyssey dances there, but just as a spectator then, so to speak, you know. But Keith knew where I was, and there was a situation where I think it was late 93, 94 or something like that. He had a problem in terms of there was the selectors. He had some tours to do, some dances to do in couple states, and none of the selectors' visas were available. So he had nobody to play the song. So he contacted me and said, boy, he's in, you know, a situation where he's asking me to go and play dances because, you know, they don't have the commitment to the promoters already. So he's asking if I can deal with the dance. And I said, yeah, man, no problem. So, you know, he came up, you know, and got the dubs to me, and I'm basically listening the dubs based off of what I hear on cassettes because I didn't know I didn't know the dubs like that. I didn't even know how the dubs were situated or anything, organized or anything, you know, and I had to basically do what we call a crash program just to get used to the dub, try to memorize them on which plate and everything as fast as possible, you know, and we played a couple dances. That's why I am one of the selectors that can say I played in Biltmore Ballroom in New York because one of the dances that I played was in Biltmore Ballroom with Earth Ruler. Yeah, I mean, as a matter of fact, that was the very first dance I played. And it was a clash in Biltmore Ballroom with Earth Ruler. You know what I mean? So
who was the MC? You were the selector. Who was the MC? Tinawan?
It was between me and Keith. No, Tinawan was around at the time.
Okay.
It was between me and Keith. Okay. So we you know, I started off talking and then started mixing, and then Keith would have the mic and do his thing, and you know, we just basically were there representing, you know what I mean, because the commitment was already there, you know, based off of the bookings with the promoter.
Wow.
And then, you know, after that dance, now we had several other dances, you know, all over the states. And you know, we went and did it because, you know, the juggling dances where basically it was just like the guest sound. Then I played the sound by myself, you know, mix and talk and deal with it. You know what I mean? Yeah. But there was two clashes. I can remember two clashes with 4x4 Exodus. Right? And then Tinawan came up to join me then. So it was me and Tinawan that played the clashes, and we beat 4x4 Exodus to a frazzle. So, you know, it was a time then.
Okay. Okay. So now the sound is now traveling. The sound is getting famous now because of Tinawan, and yourself now are picking up a pace within the
sound was traveling not because of my contribution. It was Tina One, and then Glamour G, and even Lenny. Yes, and
Okay.
Squingy also. But it's just that I basically just, I was what you could call a substitute selector based on the fact that, you know, they had commitments and no visa was available for them to fly.
Okay.
So I basically filled in just to cover those dates. But the sound was already, you know, playing all over the states.
Okay. Okay. So
Mhm.
so then it was, so it's Mark, Tina One, Glamour G, then Lenny.
Glamour G, Squingy, and Lenny. But the thing is, as I said, I was just filling in, so I was not back on the sound at that time.
Okay.
Yes, and
Okay.
I basically was just filling in for the situation to help the situation.
Okay. So when
Mhm.
the sound, were you at the point, and if you don't want to wish to discuss it, that is fine. I don't have a problem. But there was a time when the sound split,
Yeah.
right? And
When when the when the sound split, I was in contact with both Keith and Bunny. You know what I mean? Because I said they had dances, and I remember distinctly that they had. I think it was Bunny who had called me, you know, about some dances that he had to deal with. You know, and, he wanted me to go and deal with it, and it's like I kind of found it strange because normally it would have been Keith calling me, right? So because of the whole situation, and upon hearing a kind of vibe that is going on, that you know something is not right, I elected not to go and play the sound at any at all because I didn't want to be taking sides or anything of the sort. Yes, and I didn't know what was going on. I wasn't sure, you know, how to the seriousness of what was going on. So I just elected to say, you know, just I wouldn't be playing the song or playing the dances for him.
okay.
So, you know, it's after I came back to Jamaica now, I realized that you know, it was really that serious that it actually caused, you know, the split between the both of them.
Okay. So is this where the Squingy Mark era had to start? Would you
Well,
consider this the era?
well, when the sound, what happened is that when I came back to Jamaica, there was this nightclub in Brownstown by the name of Trey's nightclub that we we were I was a disc jockey for the club basically. So you know we had all kind of parties, and that I would be the one that's playing me alone, right? And I started an event by the
Yeah.
name of Teen Jam at the club, which was kept on Saturdays between the hours of 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock to 7 o'clock, because you know we made sure that the club was dark and everything, even though it was daylight. We made sure that the club was dark and everything, so it would kind of have a nightclub vibe in the day. So started this teen thing, and it took off. It was very big. Every Saturday, I mean, the place was blocked. So what happened now is that Squingy started to come down to the club on the Saturdays. The teen jam was going on, and you know, this time it's not a case where I knew Squingy personally like that. Me and him just clicked that way, the way in the sense that he came and he said, "Yo, just give me the mic." And you know, I was mixing and he was talking. So every Saturday it would be me and Squingy playing the teen jam in the club. Because if the clean jam finished by 7, you know, he would leave and then go to his dance or whatever. You know what I mean? And then
Yeah.
you know that is actually where me and Squingy developed a chemistry, or started to develop a chemistry.
Okay. So it's
So after
inside the
that,
club that you guys.
yeah, yeah, it was in the club. So I know is that the you know based off the whole state, it's like Squingy had to be doing what you would call overtime work, because he had the son had bookings in Jamaica. It was Quincy was the main selector, you understand? And of course the
Okay.
tours that they had,
Mark,
he had
do you
was
wanna Mark, Mark, do you wanna we're gonna see if you could shut down your live and restart again, because I know the signal. You told me about the signal strength, but we're trying to, but
yeah.
you're really breaking up.
Okay.
So you want to shut
Let
down and re-add?
yeah, man, let's do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, shut down and re-add. Okay. So we're just waiting. We're just waiting for him to reload. This is what it is, people. Just like you, I'm finally hearing the history. It seems like this is the real deal, and this is how it is, man. Can you hear me properly?